suspect!
Coming to get you, Bobber.
Ghostbusters Afterlife is a 2021 horror comedy directed by Jason Reitman, and it stars Paul Rudd, Finn Wolfhard and McKenna Grace. Hi guys, my name's Barry and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at Ghostbusters Afterlife, and this is going to be a spoiler review. When a single mother and her two kids arrive in a small town, they begin to discover their connection to the original Ghostbusters and the secret legacy their grandfather left behind. First of all, I don't have that emotional connection to the Ghostbusters as a lot of people do, even a lot of people my age. I don't know what it is. I think maybe back in the day when I was watching Ghostbusters, it was maybe a little too tame for me. I was into the major horror films. By that point I was into like Halloween, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Child's Play, all those types of movies. So by the time I got round to watching Ghostbusters, it must have been in the late 80s that I watched Ghostbusters. I thought it was good. And I did love it. I thought it was a great movie, but I just wasn't really connected to it. I liked the cartoon series, so no emotional connection to any of the Ghostbusters movies, especially the first two. And then when the 2016 remake came out, I know there was a lot of bashing when that movie came out, but I didn't see a problem with it. And again, it might be because I don't have that emotional connection to Ghostbusters as a lot of people do. So I can understand where the emotional connection comes from, because I'm emotionally connected to a lot of movies, just not Ghostbusters. So when this movie got announced and then when it eventually did come out, if I didn't have kids, I probably wouldn't have saw this movie at the cinema. I probably would have watched it eventually, some random night, but I wouldn't have wanted to go and see it. You'll notice the obvious tonal change and the massive change for this series, and that is it's based around kids this time and not your typical adults. I think that was a good idea. It was more the Stranger Things, the Goonies, Stand By Me style movie, but it was a Ghostbusters movie this time. I think with the disaster, as some people would call it, of 2016, they maybe just wanted to get away from the whole adult aspect of Ghostbusters, give us a new generation of Ghostbusters, because if they did ever bring out more Ghostbusters movies, who better than to bring in these young stars as teenagers, becoming adults, becoming the fully fledged Ghostbusters in the future. So it's a good starting point for a reboot of a franchise. Something I preferred in this movie than I did in the original movie was the setting. I think if you're going to have these types of ghosts roaming around town or wherever, then I think it's best to keep it more isolated, more intimate. When you've got it in a place like New York, everyone knows about it and it becomes disastrous, then you're going to have a bigger budget. Whereas if you're having it set in a little small town where nobody lives, nobody passes by, then that's the best thing to do, because if things start happening, you don't have to make it this whole world epidemic that it maybe would have became if the ghost got out, but at least you can keep it grounded. I like the idea of keeping Egon's legacy alive with his kids and his grandkids. You saw that from the trailer, so that didn't really spoil anything getting into the movie, but what I was pleasantly surprised with was the amount of not only screen time that Egon got, but the amount of storyline that Egon got as well. Egon was the ghost that led his daughter and granddaughter to what they need to do and what they need to accomplish in the movie. But not only that, we also see Egon at the end of the movie when all the cameos start coming out. And that's something I want to talk about, because as much as I'm not emotionally attached to the Ghostbusters franchise, I had a tear in my eye. I know that some people said they cried in the movie, and I'm assuming this is the part that they all cried when Egon finally came back as a ghost, played by Harold Ramis as well. Obviously not Harold Ramis himself, but a CGI Harold Ramis, and it looked pretty spot on, to be honest. It was very tasteful as well. It wasn't a tasteless thing to do. I think it was a good tribute to the actor and to the character as well. But then you've got the cameos with the other 3 stars as well. I liked them being in it, but one thing I didn't really love was the fact that they just came in without any build-up. Yeah, we had a small build-up of Ray, but Winston and Peter just came in randomly at the end of the movie. I would have preferred to see maybe a scene or two with them as a build-up of them coming back. Yes, we wanted to get a massive surprise. Unfortunately, Hasbro, the toy company, ruined that surprise for us when they announced and showed us the plasma series with the older characters as figures, so we knew they were coming back anyway, and then obviously we saw clips of them in the trailer. So because we already knew they were coming back, give us a build-up of the characters so that when they do turn up at the finale, then we would enjoy it more and it wouldn't feel like it was this tacked on appearance by them all. The score was good, you know, it felt like this kind of Emblem style kids adventure movie score. The sound was fantastic. I booked tickets to see this movie in the super screen, so I had that Dolby Atmos really loud sound, so the kids got a fright a few times when, you know, loud things were happening. But that was great sound in the movie. Obviously that helped with the cinema screen that we were in. My only issue with the score and the music was the original song that we all love didn't appear until the end of the movie. I never understand why they do that in remakes or reboots or whatever. We've got that epic song that everybody wants to hear in a movie, and then we don't hear it till the very end. I think it was a missed opportunity. Yes, play it at the end of the film, that's a given, but give us subtle hints of that song throughout the movie. Unless there was parts of that song implemented into the score, I didn't quite catch that. If they did, then I apologise, but if they didn't, then it's a missed opportunity. Apart from the kids, the rest of the adult cast were good. We had J.K. Simmons making an appearance, very short-lived of course. I didn't realise that Olivia Wilde was going to be in this one. She played Gozer, who featured in the first Ghostbusters movie. I think she was a good character. I think she was pretty scary as well. The kids got a little bit of a fright when she came on screen, when she was kind of half there and half not there as the ghost. I think she was fantastic, to be honest. I liked how the characters got possessed as well. Paul Rudd, for me, stole the show though. Paul Rudd was fantastic. All his lines were properly executed. He had a lot of comedic value. He had that mid-80s original Ghostbusters feel. You got all the kids that are in the movie, and you've even got the original cast members, but there's something about Paul Rudd's appearance that felt so original to the original Ghostbusters movie. Again, I don't know if it's because I'm not connected to it or emotionally attached, but he just felt like he completed the cast. I went into this movie not knowing what to expect. The kids absolutely loved it. They thought it was amazing, and I think because they were having a good time, I was having a good time. But the kids aside, I really enjoyed this film. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it. I didn't really know what to expect, to be honest. Ghostbusters 2018 for me, Ghostbusters 2016 for me was actually not too bad. So I'm easily pleased when it comes to the Ghostbusters movies, and I think this is head and shoulders above the 2016 remake. Not quite sure if it beats the first two original movies, but I still had a really good time. If you guys have seen this movie, leave your comments down below. Let me know how you think this movie was for you, and where does it rank for you in the Ghostbusters franchise. As always, leave your comments down below, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.